tuning in a little early here. Gonna check a couple different sites to make sure I'm streaming everywhere I need to be. If I did this right, I should be live right now on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey. So let's see if that's happening. Rumble looks good. Checking YouTube. I don't see YouTube yet. Just waiting on Odyssey now. Honestly, as long as we have Rumble, I think we're okay. I'll be happy if we just have Rumble. So let's begin here. I am B-List History. I am on BitChute, Rumble, YouTube, Odyssey, and Twitter. Live today with a little bit of Pennsylvania news. First up, video captures dueling porch pirates race to steal package outside Berks County home. This is Sinking Spring, Berks County. This is my own county. A pair of porch pirates, is that a new name for the list? I think it might be, were caught on video racing to steal a package just after it was delivered to a Pennsylvania home. It happened earlier this week in Sinking Spring. FedEx delivery driver was walking away. Within seconds, the delivery doorbell video shows two men making a sprint to the residence. This all happened as family members were inside the home. This brings to mind the meme from a few years ago where the BLM rioters were going into that gated community, and the cul-de-sac commando Karens came out, and the wife had like no trigger discipline at all. Memes about that. But this speaks to something that I hear people in Berks County say sometimes, and that is that the city is coming here, meaning Philadelphia is expanding, the urban sprawl is expanding, the local bureaucracy and red tape is expanding, all that annoying local government we have to deal with. Traffic is expanding, and of course, in this case, crime is expanding. This didn't used to happen. We didn't used to see people right away coming to steal packages off people's porches. The article goes on further. This was apparently a phone getting delivered, and somehow these guys figured out that the valuable package was being delivered to this place on this day at this time, and they were ready for it. And this expansion of crime, I think a big part of it is probably migrants, let's be honest. And I think it is hurting Biden's poll numbers. And this isn't just a new thing, it's been getting gradually more crime in my area of Pennsylvania for the past few years, really. And I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a tangent here. I spend usually about one weekend a month in the Bronx in New York. And if you remember back to the book review I did of The Art of the Deal by Donald Trump, remember what he said about going to an area and getting the feel for it himself was so much more valuable as a source of information than the most fancy, expensive canvassing firm gathering data for you. He could learn so much more by just walking on the sidewalk, looking at people, talking to a taxi driver. And I think Trump has that in Manhattan right now, and I think I have that a little bit in the Bronx. I can tell you, crime is a big thing that people are worried about. Now, I'm going to show you, this is the 2016 presidential election results in Bronx County, let's see, where's... Gotta scroll down to find it. Bronx County, Hillary Clinton 88%, Donald Trump 9.46%. Now let's look at the Bronx in 2020. Joe Biden 83%, Donald Trump got a big boost up, 15.8%. And looking at all this crime, I'll give you an example, a news story from a couple months ago. I remember someone I know from the Bronx shared this with me. Human leg was found on the subway. They don't know whose leg it was. As far as I know, that's still an unsolved case. And they get stuff like this on a regular basis. Crime is up so much in the city. And we even see the New York City mayor talking about all the migrants that are getting sent there and blaming Biden for it. Just as much as I know the Bronx, which isn't as much as a lot of other people could probably say, I don't know how Manhattan is going to vote. I don't know how Long Island is going to vote. I don't know how Brooklyn is going to vote. I don't know how upstate New York is going to vote. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that this 15% in November could be 25% for Donald Trump in the Bronx. I think I would not bet against that. I wouldn't even be super surprised to see it as high as 30. I think that's possible. So, as far as all these polls saying New York and New Jersey are a lost cause, and Donald Trump saying, oh no, we're going to flip it, a part of that could be bravado, but part of it could also be he has his ear to the ground in these places. These places are his home turf, and I think he sees the political wind shifting in a lot of cases because of crime. But as far as blindly trusting the polls and believing the polls when they say there's no chance for this state, look where that got. Look what happened in 2016 with Wisconsin and Michigan and Pennsylvania. Trump knew what he was doing better than the pollsters in those cases. So let's go on to our next story, and this one is a really important one. Georgia man created a tool to challenge voter registrations. Trump's allies may use it. Ooh, big, bad, scary. This is talking about a tool called Eagle AI, which is an AI system that goes through the voter rolls and it detects when voters have moved away from the county that they're currently registered in, and when they register to vote in a new county. It also detects voters who passed away. And I'm in Pennsylvania. I'm in these groups that are on the ground, grassroots, trying to fix the broken election system. People are using this. People are taking this data and bringing it to their county offices, that is the county commissioners and the boards of elections, and they're putting pressure on these county offices to get voters who should not be registered here removed from the voter rolls. Now, just to show you something, this isn't a weird or out there thing to request. Just going to show you. Here's a letter that someone I know personally got. This person moved out of Illinois 5 years ago, and the last time this person voted in Illinois was in 2016. Letter from the office of Cook County, Illinois. Dear voter, Illinois State Board of Elections has placed you on a list of voters that they believe have moved from Illinois and registered to vote in another state. We're sending you this letter to inform you that we are going to begin the process of removal from the voter rolls of suburban Cook County. This is something that other states are doing. It's something that other counties are doing, but a lot of the counties in Pennsylvania are not keeping up with this, and it may not always be through malice. I think a lot of it is not even malice. It's just office workers not wanting to assign themselves that extra work. So it's something that's fair to ask for, and it's something that I know for a fact in Berks County. I actually saw the number today. There are 1,153 voters, according to Eagle AI, registered to vote in Berks County who have moved away out of the county. And I know for a fact someone from Berks is going to be taking that information to our county office and asking them to investigate those people and determine if they should still be on the voter rolls. Now, over 1,000 in Berks, let's multiply that by 67 counties in Pennsylvania. We're looking at a high five-figure number, just an estimate. In 2016, the presidential election in Pennsylvania, the gap between Clinton and Trump was 44,000, and in 20, the gap between Trump and Biden was 80,000. So these are election-flipping numbers of voters that should not be registered in this state. And a lot of people, there's an organization out there called Fight Voter Fraud, Inc. They actually look for people who know that this is going on and take advantage of it and purposely register to vote in several different counties with several different addresses and try to vote in as many places as possible. We need to get these people off the voter rolls. So, I know the person who is organizing the Eagle AI efforts in Pennsylvania. I talk to this guy semi-regularly, and I had a conversation with him this week. He says that the counties, they still need people to take the Eagle AI data and present it to their county offices are Philadelphia County, Montgomery County, and Allegheny County. That's Pittsburgh. So these are three of the most populated counties in the state where we still need people to do this. And I'm gonna put it out there, if any of you listening live in those counties and you think you might want to take this data and present it to your county officials, my email is b.list.history@gmail.com. You can send me an email. I can get you in contact with the right person to get this data. And everyone watching this election in 2024 will appreciate you doing that. So now, on to our other news story. We have Scott Presler, if you're familiar with him. This guy has been honestly a powerhouse. He made a name for himself by single-handedly working probably harder than any other person currently alive to register voters Republican in swing states and get people out to the polls. Get mail-in ballots in their hands for people who don't frequently go to vote in person. And the news having to do with him is he's been hitting Bucks County heavily this month. Bucks County, Pennsylvania, that's north of Philly suburb. And every week on Monday, when he gets the new numbers, he posts an update. In June 2020, the difference between Democrat registered voters and Republican registered voters in Bucks County was 15,000. Mid-April, it was 1,500, and currently, the most recent update is 537. Last week was 720. So, he's going to flip Bucks County, probably before the convention, the Republican convention, but but almost certainly before the election. That's exciting to look forward to. And that's also a sign of something I've noticed, that the name of the game as far as political campaigning and door knocking, the name of the game has been changed a little by COVID, by the 2020 election, with all these mail-in ballots. It used to be focusing mostly on likely voters, and I've seen lists that assign a voter power number ranked 1 to 5 based on how recently they've registered and how often they get out to the polls in past elections. Campaigns used to focus heavily on the 4s and the 5s, meaning the most active voters. But now, certainly in 2020, 2021, what the Democrats were doing was hitting mail-in ballots heavily and getting mail-in ballots in the hands of those 1s and 2s who don't go out of the house, might not be willing to go out of the house and go to their polling location, but they're more likely willing, if they can do it at home, they can just fill out a piece of paper, mail it in, that's their vote. And now Republicans are catching up with this in 24 in a huge way, and Scott Presler is a big part of that. He has a whole team of people in Pennsylvania going out, knocking on thousands and thousands of doors, registering thousands of voters across Pennsylvania. I think the work this guy has done just this year probably has made Pennsylvania at least 0.5% or maybe a whole percent more Republican, and that voter base will stick around for years to come. And just for funsies, I keep a spreadsheet of Pennsylvania voter registration statistics that I update every 6 months when they put out an update to the total number of registered voters on this website. And just because it's fun to look over time at how these things have changed. April 2012. Just over 3 million registered Republicans, a little over 4 million registered Democrats in Pennsylvania. Let's look at November 2016. Republicans grew 250,000 voters. Democrats grew a little under 100,000 voters. Now let's look to present. Democrats have been mostly stagnating but slowly losing voters. Republicans have been steadily gaining voters. Republicans now in Pennsylvania are at 3.5 million. Democrats now, since 2012, have lost almost 300,000. This gap is closing. Pennsylvania is drifting more red. Now, I also look at other states, New York, Virginia, New Hampshire. New York is definitely going more blue. But Pennsylvania, I can tell you for sure, is going more red. In the future, elections are not going to be quite so hard for Republicans to win. So we're looking at governor elections, Senate elections. We're going to get ever so slightly that boost. So change since April 2012, Republicans up almost 13%, Democrats down over 5%. Since November 2016, Republicans up almost 5%, Democrats down 7.5%. These are going to be reflected in the polls when people go to vote. This is election-changing stuff, and Pressler is putting this on hyperdrive even. So, that's what I got so far. I don't see any chats on Rumble. Let me check YouTube. I don't see any chats on YouTube either, so this stream turned out shorter than I expected. But nevertheless, that's all I got, so I'm gonna leave it there for now. Everybody, have a good day.